Good morning. Welcome to First United Methodist Church and our Monday morning devotional time together. Let me lift up to you those that I'm aware of that we need to continue to keep in our prayers. Chris Waddle, as I said last week, who had his surgery put off again because of some issues, has it rescheduled again for Wednesday, and we are grateful that that's finally going to happen, and we keep Chris in our prayers. We also want to keep in our prayers the COVID-19 numbers in our county and in our area. They continue to rise, but there are a lot of very positive signs in this whole episode, and we want to keep those things in our prayers. I ask you in a very special way to keep the members of the staff and the leadership of our church in your prayers as we explore the possibility of reopening and what it will look like when we finally do find ourselves able to reopen the church and come back together. We know there are so many changes that are going to have to take place, and it is a struggle to make those decisions, and we would ask that you continue to pray for that. And all of the others that you know that need to be in our time of prayers, continue to do that and pray with them and pray for them. These days are getting long for me, and I know probably they are for you too. The beauty of the spring, the flowers, the grass, the temperatures, those kind of things, and they all speak to me at least about going and doing, being out and being around. Somehow that's just difficult today, and I struggle with it on occasion. So I want to remind you again this morning, as I have each of these mornings as we've come together in a devotional, what the psalmist said, that 24th verse of that 118th psalm. I remind you again, he said, "This is the day which the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." So in these trying times that we are living in, how do you take time to enjoy the day? Let me reflect a moment on my life. We Southerners have some very special traditions. How many of you have an old crank-type ice cream freezer? Yes, now I know some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you have a modern electric ice cream freezer. Don Underwood writes about his childhood days when his family made homemade ice cream. In his book entitled The Long View, he tells that it was his job to go to the local ice house and buy the ice to freeze the cream. That really got my attention, because I can remember going with my dad to the ice house in Cooper to get the ice when we made homemade ice cream. The ice came in huge chunks. You could buy blocks of 25, 50, even 100 pounds. When you got home, you first needed an ice pick to chip the ice into usable chunks for the freezer. Now today, if you have a freezer, you simply use prepackaged ice from the local convenience store, and it's already chipped. But perhaps the most important part of that ritual is following the trip to the ice house is calling the neighbors over to come and enjoy ice cream. Now when they came, it was not for them just simply to take a bowl and dip themselves some ice cream and begin eating. When you invited them over to take their turn on the hand crank, and then finally to sit down together and enjoy one of life's greatest blessings. Now that's a ritual of mine. We have a hand cranked freezer at our mountain home in Colorado, and we use it regularly when we're there. My mother and dad bought it many years ago now, just because they wanted to hang on to some of their traditions. To you, I want to say, take some time to create some new traditions for you and your loved ones. Slow down and enjoy this journey called life as we struggle with this COVID-19 pandemic. Remember, The psalmist said, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." Now, I want to get you to do something with your family and friends, those close to you. Stop for a moment and remember one of the traditions in life that you cherish, and then take time to tell it to them. Maybe it can help make these days in this unprecedented time more enjoyable to bear. Would you bow with me now as we pray? The joy of life is eternal, O God. Yes, in these unprecedented times that we live, we have to struggle sometimes to find those times of joy and celebration. But they're there. We simply need to acknowledge them. We simply need to seek them out and embrace them again. And I hope each of us will do just that. Remember those who are struggling with this struggle that's around us. Fill them with your Spirit in a special way, and sustain us as we make our way through, and someday be able to do the things that we all enjoy doing without restriction, but always with a sense of love and care for others, and a sense of thanks to you, as we ask this prayer in your name. Amen.